Hey everybody, I am Mr. B and welcome to the Loft. So today I'm going to show you how to do chicken and dumplings. One of my favorite all-time Southern soul food classics. You know, you look at these dishes and comfort food in general, and these types of dishes came out of poverty and came out of need. So when you look at something like chicken and dumplings or chicken and dressing or chicken and rice, if you will, those were ways that people came up with to really stretch their protein into something that fed a lot of people. They're very basic dishes. Now, let's talk about the chicken for just a minute. You know, back in the day, if you will, this Frankenstein chicken that we currently get in the grocery store that's chock full of hormones and they're 5-pound birds and what, right? If you had chickens in the yard or even were using a store-bought chicken, you know, 1.5 to 3 pounds tops. The key to a good chicken and dumpling specifically is taking time to develop your stock, okay? Because those dumplings need somewhere to go and they need flavor to absorb. So I'm going to show you how to develop a really good, rich stock, broth, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same to me, okay? Now let's chat a little bit about dumplings. You typically see one of two kinds of dumplings. One is what I would consider to be a drop dumpling. So to achieve that, you would use a wetter dough, if you will. And let's be frank, people open canned biscuits to do their dumplings all the time. I consider that authentic. Do it. And to be honest with you, by the time I get through with the flour and the rolling, I'm probably going to wish that I had used that cheat as well. Okay. So these dumplings with the wetter dough or canned biscuits are a little bit fluffier, and I call them drop dumpling because lots of times people don't bother rolling them out. They just take a spoon and drop them into the broth. Now, what I'm going to try to achieve today is what I call a flat dumpling. And it's almost pasta, but it isn't because I'm not using an egg, if you will, but you'll create a drier dough, roll that out, cut those into about 1-inch squares. Add that to the stock. And then you cut up your chicken and you add your chicken back in. You heat all that through. You will be eating for days. So let's get started with chicken and dumplings. All right, so let's talk about the chicken for just a moment here. So I've got about a 3-pound bird. I don't know, let's call her Sharon. Into the pot it goes. You are going to want to really develop a stock. So it's important, in my opinion, that you use chicken that has a bone in it of some sort. If you wanted to go all thighs, all leg, whole cut up chicken, or a whole chicken. I'm going to cover Sharon here with some water. Talk amongst yourselves. Handling the raw protein. Wash. You should be washing your damn hands. So let's start working on the stock. We're going to bring Sharon up to a boil and then reduce her to let her simmer. Now, I'm going to add some aromatics to this thing, okay, kids? So, just like you were making a stock, let's just get some celery up in it. All of this is going to be strained off, so, you know, you don't have to be delicate with your chop. Some people will do kind of the mirepoix kind of thing, and that becomes part of the dish. I don't. I mean, I guess you could. I don't think it really matters. What I'm going for here, again, is flavor. And at the end of the day, basically, what I'm going to have and going a carrot is a rich broth with chicken and dumplings. And that's just pure, pretty much what you're going to have. So I'm going to kind of be a purist on it, right? Let's see. Green onion, only because we've got to get them to go here. I'm going to save one maybe for some garnish because, you know, hell, why not? And my last celery. And then I'm going to throw a whole onion in, skin and all. Skin and all. Why am I using the skins on these things? Color, that's why. It gives a great, that brown, rich deliciousness up into your stock. Okie dokie, what are we going to do next? I know what we'll do next. Let's hit I don't know, we'll see how much this is. Got to get my garlic, see what's going on here. Again, we're straining it, so I don't have to be delicate with it at all, you know. So let's boing. Seriously. Continuing with the aromatics here, I have got, what have we got here? Got some thyme. Let's just drop it in. What else? Hell, here's some tarragon. Bay leaf. This is a good opportunity to use the broken ones. Move on to dried. A little garlic powder. I have some chicken seasoning here. Let's put a little bit of my sage in. And with my salt and pepper. And then poultry seasoning. And then a sprig of fresh rosemary. And we'll just give everything kind of a massage to get that going. Like I said, you're gonna bring it up to a boil, then you are gonna reduce it to a simmer, and you're gonna go until the chicken wants to fall off the bone. Takes about an hour, depending on how cold your chicken was when you put it in the pot. All right, we got it up to a boil. Let's just give everything kind of a mush. Okay, so while we've got our chicken going, we will start mixing up our dumplings, and hopefully this shoots okay. I'm gonna do, now with this dough, you can be a little rough. You know, you're not rough from a measurement perspective. You're not really, you know, making pastry. I'm gonna start with 2 cups of flour. Do our 2 cups of flour. Let's do about a half a teaspoon of some pepper. And same with some salt here. Let's do a couple of teaspoons of baking powder. And I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of some chicken seasoning here, maybe. Just bring some flavor along to that party. Mix these up. Once you've incorporated the dry ingredients, let's just make us a little well of sorts. And I'm gonna sneeze because of the pepper. Into that, we're gonna do about half a stick of melted unsalted butter. I don't know, what have I got here? Just under a cup of milk. I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap until I'm ready to roll them out. Plastic wrap and I have a horrible relationship with each other. Okie dokie. So Sharon has been boiling for about an hour, and I'm going to prepare to take her out. Now, one way, I don't know if I'm going to get this shot here, but the legs will kind of tell you when it's ready, when they start pulling off. You know, dark meat takes longer typically. So we're gonna get under the carcass, and I want to drain as much of this out as possible without burning the shit out of myself. We're gonna set her over here and let her cool, and we're going to drain this stock. Right, I wanted to show you guys the rich color of that broth. It's gonna be so, so good. All right, to drain the stock, we're gonna get something to catch the broth in. Fine mesh strainer. And then I'm gonna come over here with, carefully, it's hot. We'll add the broth back to our pot. And then that should thicken me up right where I want it to be. I'm going to do a little bit of green onion for some freshness, some thyme, and then a little bit of parsley. Okay, kids, whew, let's give this a shot. Now, you know, my texture, it's a little off. You know, when you're home cooking, things are going to happen. So I'm going to need to work on that, but that's just another excuse to do it again. I really think that, you know, it just comes down to controlling the water content. So, you know, but it comes down to the taste at the end of the day. Screw the damn texture. Yes, indeed. Guys, this is the essence of chicken in a bowl. I don't know what to tell you. We did really well developing the richness of the broth. And, you know, putting a little bit of seasoning in the dumplings definitely helps them along as well. So delicious. Okay, kids, there you have it. Southern staple classic, chicken and dumplings. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Come along for the ride. And remember, it doesn't matter if it's hometown or midtown, we're going to be cooking it from the loft. We'll see you next time, kids.